Hi, my name is Brat. I'm a stylist with a sociology degree, and this is day 7 of my series, Goodbye Downtown, the series where I give y'all a tour of the flagship store of Neiman-Marcus before it closes down after 111 years of being in business. Today, we're talking about the iconic windows, or more specifically, the team behind them. Visuals! You see, the visuals team serves such an important role in the way downtown functions. Like every other location, it's their job to make sure every space within the store is as beautiful as the stuff being sold in it, as well as the stuff being sold in it. But unlike most other locations, we only have the 3 people ensuring the beauty of the store. And beautify all 6 functioning floors plus the windows is exactly what these 3 do. From the moment you get within 20 feet of the store or walk throughout it, you see these 3 incredibly talented people without ever knowing it. So I asked them all to reminisce with me about their time in the store. That way, y'all can get to know them too.
Well, I've always, since I was little, I was classically trained. So I was studying opera as a child. So being in the opera, you know, we do costumes and staging. So it was part of a whole production. And I think the magic of just the costumes and, you know, just seeing all the different types of clothing from different like time eras, I guess really got my first interest into fashion. Out of all my friends, I've always been the one that's liked dressing up. I've just really been interested in clothing and colors. So I think my start of liking fashion was when I was introduced to opera and that whole world of costume. So it kind of went from costume to fashion, and I think that's what really got me into fashion.
I did not start in fashion. I went to university, Iowa State University actually. I have a degree in art and design, interior design, but I always worked retail along the way. So for a time there, I pursued different aspects of retail. I managed a furniture department, and I was a manager for a gift galleries department. So both of them still touched on what I had studied, but they still also were deeply combined with the fact that I've been doing retail since I was much younger. And then the opportunity came up, there was an opening in visual, and I was like, that sounds like fun. Something new, but still using, if you have a creative background and you love art, it can be different kinds of art. It can be 2-dimensional art. Dressing, I believe, is a 3-dimensional art. So you create a look that may be just for you, or you create a look that entices someone else to be like, I could wear that. I never thought about putting those things together that way, and never with that shoe. So it's that whole trying to keep a fresh attitude about it, and yet still with a job in visual, you are constantly resetting floors. My skills of knowing space planning and where to place furniture properly to get the best advantage, that still comes out what I know. And most of the visual people I work with, they don't necessarily come from a background of like schooling for merchandising or retail. Most of them I know are artists or theater. As one friend of mine used to say, the window is like a piece of theater frozen. So, you know, the fact that I come from interior design and different art backgrounds, it all can be used and it all can be turned into some amazing thing.
I started in photography when I was little. My dad worked in photography, more on the jewelry side, but when I started here, he got me really into it because he knows all the history and stuff.
It's my passion.
My answers are all going to be cheap because it's these guys. Like I said, I worked in photography. I was a production assistant, so I helped build all the sets and stuff. Christmas, I helped with all the trees and stuff, and I just met these guys that are wonderful. I really like the space too. It's very historic.
You know, well, just anywhere you live, if you go downtown, uptown, it's just the place to be. Downtown has, especially Dallas, downtown has so much history. Neiman-Marcus has such a history. The building is so beautiful. But I just came across it in LinkedIn, you know, downtown was hiring. And, you know, at first I was like, I don't think I qualify, you know. But it's always those inner voices that stop you from really doing what you want to do. So I just went for it, and I was like, you know, just go for it. You know, the worst that can happen is they say no. But you can at least say that you tried and that you applied for it and that you interviewed for it and see what happens. But I think when you come downtown, it's just location and the beautiful building, the experience that this building has. And so, I mean, after I was hired, I was just like, I can't believe I work downtown, you know. Every day going to Starbucks or coming from the garage to the building was just like, I just felt like Carrie from Sex and the City, you know. So it was kind of a blessing, and also like, wow, look, I work downtown. So I just think the magic and the history that downtown has is what attracted me here.
I mean, I worked all over Person Center, the Galleria, Valley View Mall, and to me it was like the ultimate. Really? Downtown? Because I worked downtown at Sanger Harris at one point. So it was like the opportunity to return downtown, and before I'd maybe catch a fortnight, you know, pop over and look at things or walk through the store and appreciate it. But the opportunity to actually work here, that was like, I can grow, I can learn. Wow.
That's a tough one.
For me, probably my favorite memory is the 100th anniversary of 2007. Working with very talented people to create fashion exhibits, one of them on the second floor, that to be inspired by each one of the decades that the store had been open, borrowing pieces from the Texas fashion collection, and then pulling current brands that were influenced by that particular era. So is it a 50s waist? Are they 90s shoulder pads, which kind of goes back to the 40s? I mean, so it was so great working on that. Then there was also an installation on the first floor in which the brands, each brand that was invited, and I think there were about 30, were asked to create something that they thought would be relevant in 100 years. And seeing that all on the ledges and on these built-up structures around the elevator doors on the first floor, you would start to cry. Seeing that much beauty, seeing that much creativity, seeing how people can take something as, what do you think is going to be relevant in 100 years? I remember one dress that was created out of recycled parachutes, all of them, with a train. So seeing about being relevant and also thinking about recycling, repurposing, realizing that fashion is a world in which there can be a lot of waste. To think, you know, by the time in the next 100 years, how much is going to be repurposed, how much is going to be reused and reinterpreted out of things that maybe didn't sell. Take them apart or put them back together in an entirely different, unexpected way. But I think it's always better to not just, I don't want to say I hate fast fashion. I just
It's okay to hate fast fashion. I hate fast fashion.
I appreciate, I mean, I've put together my wardrobe over 30 years. You know, I love it when somebody goes, oh my gosh, that sweater is amazing. What is it? I'm like, 28-year-old polo sport. And it still looks great. Okay, well, you know, you put it together in different ways and try and take care of it. You don't have to run out and buy something new every season. Because if you go back to your closet, you're like, oh, yeah, got that already,
Right.
Wide leg pants, Put the skinny jeans away for a while.
There's several. I mean, I guess there's not one. I'll just give you some of the top memories. I think getting to work with Alfonso Serrano, who was my first lead when I got here, and we did, our Christmas tree was Baccarat, and I got to meet Martha Stewart, so that was a pretty cool experience. I think another great experience was when we did the two crystal charities here. So I got to meet the designer Adam Lippis, and then the year after that, I got to meet the creative directors of Oscar de la Renta, and just be part of those two fashion shows was like the closest thing I could come to Fashion Week in New York. So I think those are memories that I'll keep forever and say, like, I was part of a fashion show with the real designers, real models, a real production team.
I really enjoyed doing the windows. It really felt like being a part of something, because like the whole team, like it's just me, Ray, and our lead, Jesus, and like that's a small team to do such big windows. We all had to do a very specific, very difficult part to make it work, and these last windows, they felt special.
Holiday windows.
The holiday windows were very fun, very exciting.
Well, the windows have gone back and forth since I've been here. It can be very minimalist, white box, white walls, white floor, girl. Or we have had situations like the Christmas windows or the current windows where there's so much drama and creating a total mood that the clothes, oh yes, they are a feature, but it's like feel like I'm sitting in this party and having a great time, and excuse me, glass is empty. We're having a scene here.
Absolutely.
But I also have loved sometimes doing one of the white box windows with the most dramatic piece of merchandise you've ever seen. The white box window we did for Crystal Charity. The brand was Valentino Garavani, not Alessandro McKinley. And I want to say it was embellished, embroidered gown with a long jacket that went over it, equally as embellished. And just to be able, I'm not affected by prices as much as when I first started here, but to be able to be dressing the mannequin and step back and go, for $175,000, that looks good.
Yeah.
The number of hours that go into it in the atelier with the embroidery, the embellishment, the applique work, the construction of it, the fabric alone, which could be $500, $600 a yard. Just that many talented artists in a space working together to create beauty.
Okay, that's all I wanted to show y'all today. Check back tomorrow. I'm talking Scaparelli.